Wait a minute, time out. Before I get started here, can I put a shout out right now for www.mypillow.com? What? Yes. Mypillow.com. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. You see what Mike Landau has now? He has the sheets. Unbelievable pricing reduced on the sheets and on the towels and the blankets and the slippers, but and the incredibly low prices on the best pillow there is. Are you serious? Are you serious? mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. Every bed in your house ought to have 3, if not 4, My Pillows on it. And go, and here's the best way to order it, okay? Go to www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. You'll be glad you did. And they ship really fast too.
Hurricane Ian forms into powerful storm, prompting evacuation order in Tampa. Tropical storm Ian strengthened into Hurricane Ian Monday morning as coastal residents brace for major impacts from the storm as the week progresses. Hurricane status was declared at around 5 a.m. as the storm's winds strengthened to 75 miles per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane Ian is expected to become a significant hurricane within the next 48 hours. A hurricane watch was issued for Florida's Gulf Coast region, including Tampa Bay. Hillsborough County, which contains Tampa, ordered a mandatory evacuation for residents living in the city's coastal area. It also announced a voluntary evacuation for most of the rest of the county. Hurricane Ian was growing stronger as it approached the western tip of Cuba on Monday, on a track to hit the west coast of Florida as a major hurricane as early as Wednesday. Ian was forecast to hit Cuba as a major hurricane and then become an even stronger Category 4, which with top winds of 140 miles per hour over warm Gulf of Mexico waters, before striking west of Florida along a stretch of coast including the Tampa Bay area. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the entire state should get ready for Ian's impact. Quote, "Make preparations now," DeSantis said on Sunday. Quote, "The things that you should be prepared with are things like food, water, batteries, medicine, and fuel." DeSantis activated the National Guard on Sunday, saying the path of the storm is still uncertain. The impacts will be broadly felt throughout the state. State and federal disaster declarations were made over the weekend. Gunman fires at draft office in Russia amid growing anger over Putin's mobilization. A gunman opened fire at a draft office in Russia's Siberian region of Irkutsk on Monday amid a growing backlash against President Vladimir Putin's chaotic efforts to mobilize more people to boost his troops in Ukraine. The man, whom officials have not identified, opened fire in the far eastern city of Uzhmetsk, seriously injuring a recruiting officer, according to the region's governor Igor Kobzev. A video circulating online, confirmed by NBC News to have been shot inside the draft office, showed people inside running for cover and screaming as the gunman fired. The shooter has been taken into custody and an investigation has been launched, the Irkutsk division of Russia's top investigative body said in a release. While authorities have not commented on the gunman's possible motive, the incident highlights growing unease among the Russian public after Putin ordered a partial mobilization last week, an unpopular move that Kiev and Western allies have said shows his desperation to bolster his faltering military campaign in Ukraine. It has led many to either flee the country or take to the streets in protest, resulting in more than 2,300 arrests to date. This is according to OVD Info, which is a Russian independent protest monitoring group. Meanwhile, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church has said that Russian soldiers who die in the war against Ukraine will be cleansed of their sins. A Putin supporter who has backed his invasion of Ukraine, Patriarch Kirill, said dying on the battlefield can be seen as an act of, quote, sacrifice. Quote, "We believe that this sacrifice washes away all the sins that a person has committed," he said during a Sunday service. Swastika-wearing gunman kills 15 and wounds 24 during school shooting in Russia. A gunman opened fire in a school in central Russia on Monday, killing 15 people and wounding 24 others before shooting himself dead, authorities said. The shooting took place in school number 88 in Ishchev, a city 960 kilometers or 600 miles east of Moscow in the Udmurtia region. Russia's investigative committee identified the gunman as 35-year-old Artyom Knyazev, a graduate of the same school, and said he was wearing a black t-shirt bearing Nazi symbols. No details about his motives have been released. The committee said 15 people, including 11 children, were killed in the shooting, and 24 other people, including 22 children, were wounded in the attack. The governor of the region said the gunman, who he said was registered as a patient at a psychiatric facility, killed himself after the attack. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov described the shooting as a terrorist act and said Russian President Vladimir Putin has given all the necessary orders to the relevant authorities. Pkwy is a city of 640,000 people. It's located west of the Ural Mountains in central Russia. Anchor discovered off the coast of Suffolk may date from Roman times. During survey works for an offshore wind farm, archaeologists stumbled upon an incredibly rare anchor that's thought to date back to Roman times. The 2,000-year-old iron anchor was discovered at the bottom of the southern North Sea near Suffolk while workers were doing survey works for the Scottish Power. Experts believe that the 100-kilogram anchor is from the Roman or late Iron Age and could provide evidence of ancient Romans traveling and trading in the southern North Sea. The 2-meter-long anchor is estimated to have come from a 500 to 600-ton vessel and is believed to be between 1,600 and 2,000 years old. Quote, everything points to this being a Roman anchor of almost 2,000 years old, which is an incredibly rare piece of history, said Brandon Mason from Maritime Archaeology. Quote, if this date is confirmed, it would be hard to overstate its significance. We only know about 3 pre-Viking anchors from northern European waters outside the Mediterranean region, and only 2 actually survived. The anchor was first discovered back in 2018, but was safely recovered from the water last year after being monitored due to concerns over its long-term preservation. It is currently undergoing detailed imaging and analysis to better pinpoint its age. Once that's done, the anchor will go on permanent display in conjunction with Colchester and Ipswich museums. Typhoon Noru smashes into the Philippines, killing 5 and leaving villages in tatters. People in the northern Philippines were bracing for landslides on Monday after 5 rescue workers were killed in the aftermath of Typhoon Noru, which made landfall on Sunday and is now heading for Vietnam. The typhoon, known locally as Typhoon Carding, intensified rapidly from Saturday to Sunday, arriving as a super typhoon at its peak of around 160 miles per hour. The typhoon gathered power incredibly quickly, going from the equivalent of a Category 1 hurricane to a Category 5 in just 6 hours. The stronger the wind speed of a typhoon or hurricane, the more powerful it is and destructive it's likely to be. The rapid intensification right before landfall likely meant locals had little, if any, time to prepare for the much stronger storm. It blasted the main island of Luzon on Sunday before weakening Monday to a Category 2 equivalent typhoon, according to the U.S. Joint Typhoon Warning Center. The storm is picking up strength again, however, as it approaches Vietnam.